Okay, Miss Simon, how are you today? Good. It's good to see you. Okay, so I just want to start by first introducing myself. I'm Siobhan Williams. I am a counseling intern with Lamar University, and I will be facilitating your counseling sessions today. Okay, so you did some intake paperwork, and a part of that was about confidentiality. So I just wanted to talk to you about it before we started, just first so I can get that out the way and make sure you understand. Okay, so what that means is, as we are in counseling together, anything you say or you share here with me is your personal information. I am not allowed to share with anybody without your permission. Now, if you say it's okay for me to speak with somebody um, to help facilitate change or something like that for the benefit of you, then I can with your permission. Aside from that, there are some limits to confidentiality. Okay, so if you presented that you were a danger to yourself or that you were a danger to someone else, if there was an issue with child abuse, elder abuse, something like that, then I would be obligated to reach out and report something like that. But that would be to keep you safe, somebody else safe. Either way, it's still for the betterment of you. Okay? Okay, but other than that, whatever you tell me, I will keep it. Okay? Alright, you have any questions about that? No. Okay. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to get that out the way, and I wanted to just kind of get a feel for you and your personality. So, tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I am 32. I am in school,
Okay.
working,
What are you in school for?
social work.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Work full time, engaged, stepmother.
Oh, wow. Wow, so you have a lot of hats that you are wearing right now. Okay, so what? I have so many questions just from that. What made you choose social work as a field?
Because I always wanted to help others. I get it makes me feel better as a person to be able to help someone else. I am more so on the lines of I like the anything dealing with the courts.
Okay.
That's what I would I want to be involved in.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What about you mentioned that you are engaged? So how long have you been engaged?
Been engaged for 2 years.
Okay.
Been with my fiance for 7 years.
Wow. And how was that? What is that relationship like?
Our relationship is great.
Okay, good. Good.
It's great. He's a great guy, great father, great provider. So we have an awesome relationship.
Okay. And you mentioned your stepmother.
Yes.
What do you have?
Boy and girl, 12 and 10.
Oh, wow. Very close in age. Okay. And you got the best of both worlds.
Yes.
You all plan on children?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when is the wedding?
May 13th, 2016.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's a good thing. It sounds like some you have a very loving environment at home.
Try to.
Okay. Okay. Now, I also know that there are usually some challenges with blended families. So what is it like co-parenting with the other parent? Does everyone get along?
For the most part, as of now, yes.
Okay.
It's not always been that way. We've
Okay.
had a lot of challenges within the 7 years that we have been together, and out of the 7, this is probably the first year that we've actually been able to get along on a more cohesive level.
Okay. Okay, so what brought that about?
Prayer.
Prayer. Okay. So are you a deeply spiritual person?
I believe so. I
Okay.
should at least try to be.
You lean on your faith quite a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what brings you here? What is your reason for coming in for services today?
Just to address those issues that we did once have, and try to learn ways to cope and continue to be on this path that we are on, as far as being able to get along with the co-parenting and the blended family.
Okay. Okay, so when you said issues of the past, I didn't really dig too much into that. So could you tell me what the history is there?
Yeah, previous marriage, they were together, married for maybe 10 years, legally legally separated, but the divorce wasn't final until after 10 years had passed within the marriage. And within that time, it was they had a lot of issues, and I think that carried on into the divorce. And when he and I got together, they were still dealing with the issues from the past. Um, his ex has not always been a level-headed person, and it's just sometimes been difficult to try to get on the same path and come together for the sake of the kids and do what's best for them. It's been more personal as far as side of being for the kids and doing what's best for them.
Okay.
So that's just made a lot of our interactions really hard, and to the point to where at one point I honestly felt as though I hated her. And being a spiritual and faithful person that I am, I knew that wasn't good for my spirit.
Right. Okay, so did your relationship with him interlap with the time that they were married?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So is it her understanding that you were the cause of their demise, or what?
I believe so. I believe she felt that because I don't think that she's the type of person who likes to own up to their mistakes and own up to their part in whatever transpired.
Okay.
So it's easier to blame others and place fault on others rather than her dealing with her own issues. But when he and I got together, they had already been separated for at least 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were still married, but they weren't together as husband and wife. They were separated.
Okay, that kind of clears some things. But I was about to think, like, was he living in the home with her as her husband, and then you came along, or were they already apart?
They were already apart.
Okay. So at any time, do they get along?
They do. Though we just recently dealt with some issues that kind of put a huge wedge in their relationship, and it was a situation that involved social services, that involved the cops, and it was just a really big ordeal that was unnecessary. And it happened shortly after we got engaged, so I think it was more so of a personal attack. And she called the cops. He disciplined his daughter, and she called the cops and blew everything out of proportion. And so we had to deal with that. So because of that, and because the fact that he did go to jail for at least 48 hours for something that was a blatant lie, that put a huge wedge in their relationship. So that now he's able to talk with her when it comes down to dealing with the kids. But outside of that, he doesn't really communicate with her outside of anything that's not dealing with the kids.
Okay, what about you?
We're able to talk.
So you and her can talk.
She and I can talk. Just recently, our daughter had a birthday party, and a small party was at her house. So to be able to involve myself in that and be able to go into her home without his presence and feel okay, that's a big step, and that's a lot of change. Because at one point we wouldn't be able to be in the same room without me really tensing up and just having something completely come over me to where I just wanted to, for lack of better words, I feel like I could have possibly killed him if it came down to it. So.
One thing you said that stood out to me a while ago, you said our daughter. I thought that's really indicative of the relationship that must be there between you and the child.
I love both of them.
Yeah.
As if they were mine, not just myself, but my entire family.
Okay.
From my mother to my grandmother, my aunt, my entire extended family. Look at these kids as if they were a part of our family and not just his kids.
Right. That's awesome. That is really awesome. I mean, that's not always just the norm.
Yeah.
So that is really awesome, and I think it's something to be commended. Okay, so if you are choosing a goal for us to work on, I know you shared so much here just already. If you were going to choose one thing that you would like to get from us working together in therapy, what would it be? What would you identify as this is the thing I want to work on?
Just to be able to stay on the path of where I am currently or trying to be as far as being able to get along. I would like to maybe pick up things that I could try to help him so that help their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But essentially, I just want to be able to continue to have a relationship and on a peaceful level.
Okay. Okay. So maintaining a peaceful relationship with her.
Yes.
So that you are able to collaboratively work with her to co-parent the children.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you a question. Have you forgiven her for the ordeal? Because he's your fiance. Obviously you love him. So him going through whatever he went through, because you going through it too.
Mm-hmm.
So have you forgiven her completely for that?
For the most part, I think I have. It was really hard to watch him go through that whole experience because he's not that type of man that she portrayed him to be. She portrayed him to be a monster, and that's not what he is. He's so far from that, and he's a great father, and his kids have always come first. So for the type of person that he is to be attacked in that nature, it really hurt. But for the most part, I think I have forgiven her because I know that would be the only way that I would be able to move forward, is to go ahead and forgive. And while also I can never forget, but I think I have forgiven her for her actions.
Okay. Well, that's a good thing. That's very good. Now, when you are trying to interact with her now, what are some of the things about interacting with her that give you challenges to being positive and continuing to have a relationship?
I think at times our parenting styles are completely different, whereas she's more on the verge of wanting to be their friend and letting them get away with a lot of stuff that for their age they shouldn't, be getting away with. And so one of the big issues that we do have will be down to lines of their education. Whereas with he and I, education is important. It's number one, we need to focus on that. Whereas with her, it's just, she has this very lackadaisical attitude about it. And so I think that's one of the biggest challenges that we have, because we can't figure out how to get everybody on the same page. It's like, we invested time and money into having them take private tutorials every week, at least one day a week. And it seems like every time when we have them, as soon as we take 2 steps forward, we're taking 5 back. Because it's like starting all over again. And I think that's what's one of the biggest challenges, because we can't change her, but it's that's one of the biggest challenges that we face.
Okay, so something you just said stood out to me, and I think it's a very good thing to think about. And it would help you to refocus your thoughts in regards to that. You said you guys have invested time, money, energy into having them take tutorials, you said, but we can't change her. Very, very true. Now, you could possibly do all the things you guys have done, and it sounds like you are doing your fair share to get the children into wherever they need to be academically in regards to education. But if she is not, and let's say that she won't, then what are your thoughts about that? If she will never do that, what are your thoughts? What do you think in your inner thoughts when no one is listening? It's just you thinking. Be honest, as candid as you could be. What are your thoughts there?
That they are doomed. I think that they're being set up for failure.
And how does that make you feel?
Annoyed, frustrated, and just completely pissed off, because they have the ability to be great if they're provided the proper tools and the proper encouragement. But if we can only get that from 2 out of the 3 parents involved in this situation, it's not gonna, they're doomed.
Okay, so we're gonna come back there. We're gonna remember that this is a thought, okay? This is a thought you have. they're doomed because she will not do whatever, and you guys can only do so much the time when you have them.